Alright guys, now let's continue with part 4 of this test. Okay, so last time we only fixed parts 1, 2 and 3, so now let's move on to part 4. Read the passage and mark the letter A, B, C or D on your answer sheet to indicate the best answer to each of the following questions from 20 to 29. All right. So tell me about the strategy. What is the best strategy to do this? What do you think? What should we do? Yeah, we should start with reading the questions first, okay? Or maybe you can, when you start doing something like this, you can try to read the first paragraph, okay? Or maybe you can skim everything very quickly, you see, but probably when you skim things, it's very hard for you to understand everything here. So it's kind of, it's still kind of waste of time. So I think if you have time, maybe you should read the first paragraph to understand, okay, what it's about, okay? And then you have to go on with reading the questions immediately, okay? Don't try to read everything carefully from A to Z, from the top to the bottom, and then start reading the questions. Otherwise, you don't have enough time. So we need good strategy for this. So, all right, so we to try to read through everything here. We are living through a boom in greenwashing, blah, blah, a strategic use of blah, blah. Okay, we read some of them. And then next, we need to read question 20, right? Okay, Nhi, go. No, question 20. Yeah, you guys, this one, they have a lot of difficult words or hard words. Please check the pronunciation as well, okay? According to paragraph 1, genuine decarbonization, blah blah, something. So according to paragraph 1, that means we need to read paragraph 1, right? And we need to search for the term genuine decarbonization. Maybe we need to read the meaning, or we read the function or something. Okay, we try to read the first paragraph, yeah, together. All right, Nhi, read that. Yeah, guys, that's why yesterday I asked you to read and check everything carefully. Why is that? Because it has a lot of difficult words, and also you need to check the pronunciation as well of everything, okay? Otherwise, if you keep reading or pronounce the wrong thing, then after a certain time, then you may remember the wrong things, and it's very hard to change. So you don't just search for the meaning of all of the words here, but you need to search for the way to pronounce all of them, and also some terms, phrases, and structure. And so lots of things here. This one is quite a difficult one. I think this the hardest reading part in this test. Okay. Let's read it again. Okay, we are living through a boom in greenwashing, the strategic use of comforting environmental claim to disguise business as usual pollution. Picture a chief executive whose company emits millions of tons of carbon dioxide. Genuine decarbonization would require bruising, ballroom discussions, huge capital outlays, and a complete redesign of the firm's model. Far easier is to hire a creative agency to plaster products with labels such as carbon neutral or net zero, calming critics, investors, and even eco-conscious children while emissions continue unsolved. So after reading this, we can look at the question. They say, according to paragraph 1, genuine decarbonization, A, is overlooked by corporations, B, involves hiring an expert agency, is costly and demanding, physically injures those involved. So what is the answer here?
C.
The answer is C. Okay. The answer is C. All right, now tell me why C? Quỳnh Hương. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here we can see they mentioned genuine decarbonization here, right? So we just need, so first of all, we just skim and we just read everything here already. And then we skim for the phrase genuine decarbonization, and then we read carefully. Then we scan, right? We read carefully. Genuine decarbonization would require bruising ballroom discussions, huge capital outlays, and a complete redesign of the firm's model. Far easier is to hire a creative agency to plaster products with labels such as carbon neutral or net zero, blah blah, something like that. And here, the answer is costly and demanding, right? Which one means costly? Yes, huge capital outlays. That means costly. Demanding. Yeah, guys, please, when your friend explains this, please underline all of those phrases. Okay, so first of all, you need to underline huge capital outlays, right? Huge capital outlays, so that means costly. And we have genuine decarbonization right there. You can underline genuine decarbonization as well. And how about demanding? Which one? Yeah, require bruising ballroom discussions. Not enough. Yes, a complete redesign of the firm's model. So demanding, what does that mean, guys? What? No. We are talking about what? Demanding in this case, what is that? Now verb, adjective, adverb, what's that? Because if you say requirements, then now, right? Adverb? Verb? So all of you, each one of you just say everything. Now verb, adjective, adverb, and all of you just say all of them. I want the right one, the correct one. What is that? Demanding in this case, what is that? Now verb, adjective, adverb. adjective, right? Why? Why do you know this is an adjective? Why?
Because costly is adjective too, and between that is an and.
Yes, because you see, and also you see the verb to be, right? Is. Costly. Costly is an adjective, and so after and, we need something which is parallel with the first, with the one before. So costly is an adjective, so demanding should be an adjective as well. So in this case, when you search for the meaning from your dictionary, you need to search for the meaning, the adjective meaning. Okay, because each one of them comes with different meanings, guys. Otherwise, you cannot understand it. So demanding in this case, what does that mean? Adjective, adjective. I'm not asking about a verb or a noun. The meaning and the adjective meaning of this. What's that? What? You didn't search for the, you didn't search for the adjective meaning. You searched for a noun or something. What? Hot? Yeah, kind of. Yes, this is a part of that. Yes. What else? When we say something is very demanding, what does that mean? Or demanding, or demanding. Ủa mấy bạn kia không search sao ngồi im ru rồi? High standard. Yeah, kind of. Yes. It need you to put in a lot of time, effort, energy, attention, and everything you have to complete that. So that means it's very demanding or demanding. Okay? Cứ mỗi lần hỏi soạn xong chưa, cái kêu soạn xong hết, biết hết, xong đến lúc đờ hết. That's why I said, when you said, oh, it's easy and you already understood everything, that makes me worry. If you said, okay, it's hard and you need to search for more, then I feel calm. I feel okay with that. But if you say it's easy, nothing to search, then it's very, strange and dangerous, Okay, so demanding means you need to put in a lot of time, effort, and everything to complete that. So that's kind of things. Okay, it's hard. Of course, it's hard. Yeah. So, which one means? Yeah, demanding here. You can say that is require bruising, ballroom discussion, and also a complete redesign of the firm's model. Do you understand the complete redesign of the firm's model? Thiên Nga explain that.
Complete redesign of a company.
Go on. You just repeat that. When we say a complete, because here, genuine, do you understand genuine decarbonization?
That's been a kind of carbon. One type.
A type of carbon. Oh my God. Really? So you misunderstand the whole thing. Oh my God, I had to ask from the beginning. Genuine decarbonization, what does that mean? I thought you knew that. Oh my God. What does that mean? What does that mean? Trời ơi, hỏi tới một cái đứng hình mà hôm qua hỏi xong chưa, soạn hết chưa, kêu ok hết rồi hả? Really? Đâu hôm qua các bạn search cái chữ genuine decarbonization, bạn search được gì rồi, nói bạn search gì vậy? Yes, tiếng Việt nghĩa là gì? Quá trình khử carbon chính hãng, nghĩa là gì? Khử thật chứ không phải giả. Yeah, you're not wrong. You know, like you know pollution. So when we talk, when we're talking about pollution, we are talking about the emission of carbon dioxide. And decarbonization, that means we make sure that that thing doesn't happen. That means there's no emission of CO2 or carbon dioxide to the environment, or reduce the amount of emission. And genuine decarbonization, that means you do that for real. You have to do everything you can to make sure that to minimize or to reduce the amounts of carbon dioxide emission. You understand? So first you emit a lot. But if you do this, that means you stop emitting those things, or you reduce the amount of emission. That means you do it for real. And that means there's no more pollution. Okay? So here they say, genuine decarbonization would require bruising ballroom discussion. Bruising ballroom discussion, what does that mean? Oh my god, đến không hỏi mà không phải hỏi luôn. What does that mean? Thư? Try with English first.
Like we need to accept to discuss with
Đứng hình luôn, đâu Việt ngữ Anh?
kiểu như là chấp nhận những cuộc họp căng thẳng với cấp trên.
No. Kind of, but no. Required, I mean you need to do that. And bruising, yeah, very stressful. Ballroom discussions, when you say the phrase ballroom discussions, that means the discussion of high-ranking levels in the company. That means only the board of directors or board of managers can do that. That means someone like CEO, CFO, COO, CMO, something like that. I mean chief executive officers or some managers there. That means the ones who can make decisions in a company, all of them will sit in a room and discuss. So that's what they mean, ballroom discussions. Okay? That means the discussions among all of the directors and managers in the company. And bruising, they're just an adjective. I mean, it's very stressful. They have to work very hard, they're very stressed, they have to argue, they agree with each other or they disagree with each other, something like that. Okay? Huge capital outlays. Yeah, this one is easy, right? I guess. Means? Okay, Hương, go. For what? Like what? In this case, what's that? Yeah, huge capital outlays. That means you invest a lot of money in something. Okay? For example, like you imagine if you have a lot of machines and it work daily and then it produce a lot of CO2 or carbon dioxide into the environment. Now you have to maybe change all of the machines. You need to buy new ones, or maybe you have to adjust it, or you have to do something with it just to make sure that the amount of CO2 can be less. Okay, and here maybe you need what? A complete redesign of the firm's model, a complete redesign of the firm model. That means you have to change the entire system or the entire process. Okay, you have to change everything. All right, that is a complete redesign. When we say a redesign, that means you don't just sit in a room, you design or you change the design. No, we are not talking about changing the design. No, first, yes, we have to redesign, we change the design or something, but then we have to do it in the real life or in the real factory or in the real company. We have to change maybe the systems, the way people work, all the machines there have to be changed as well, just to make sure that they can minimize the CO2 or the carbon dioxide emissions. Okay, that's what I mean. Yeah. So by saying all of that, so you see that is very demanding, right? Yeah, it requires bruising boring discussions and also a complete redesign of the firm's model. You have to redesign and then you have to do it, you have to apply it, implement it. It's really hard work. It requires a lot of time, effort, and money. So huge capital outlays. So that's why genuine decarbonization is costly and demanding. Yeah? Did anyone choose anything else? Then you just say it and then we can explain why it's wrong. Yeah? Did anyone choose A? Did anyone choose A? No? Is overlooked by corporations. What does that mean? Huy? Trời ơi, sao hôm qua dành cả ngày để search rồi, hỏi xong chưa kêu xong hết rồi, hôm nay hỏi đến cái gì, cái đứng hình cái đó là sao guys? Do you need more time? I told you this one is hard. I didn't say it's easy, right? You don't just look at the answers and then you think, oh, it's easy, I can do it now. Yeah, it's very easy after you have the answers, but I need the explanation. You must understand everything here. So that's how you can learn and you can improve in the next test. Otherwise, your point will stay the same. Okay, tự is overlooked by corporations. What does that mean?
In my opinion, this one is ignored by one company.
Yeah, is overlooked means is ignored by companies. That means many companies don't care about that. Okay, or companies they don't care about genuine decarbonization. And B, easy. D, easy, right? Yeah, really? Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Nhi explain B. Come again. Like what? For what? It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it involves hiring an expert agency. Yeah, okay. To do this, for genuine decarbonization, they need to hire, or they need the help from some other professional companies with something like redesigning the firm's model or something like that. Okay, and so that is, it doesn't mention here in paragraph 1, right? Maybe in some other paragraphs, yes. That's why we are talking about greenwashing, right? But not in paragraph 1. D physically injures those involved. Easy. We don't need to look at this. Yeah. Question 21. Quỳnh Hương, read that. Yeah, which of the following best summarizes paragraph 1? So we read paragraph 1. We read paragraph 1 already, and now tell me, what is the best summary here? B. Okay. Yes. Okay, read that. Yes, large emission enterprises prefer net zero or carbon neutral tax on their offerings over genuine decarbonization. You understand everything there? Yeah, okay, good. Explain that. Yeah. Yeah. On what?
On the tech, like brand.
Yeah.
And like they like that more than the genuine decarbonization.
Yeah, on their offerings. What does that mean?
Their products.
What? Products, yes. So here, large emission enterprises, that means some companies which emit a high level of carbon dioxide. Okay, so that's what we call large emission enterprises. Prefer net zero or carbon neutral tax on their offerings. That means they prefer to put some tax on their products, mentioning net zero or carbon neutral. Okay, so I mean there's no CO2 there, or not CO2 in the product, but it means that they don't emit too much CO2 into the environment, things like that. And they prefer that over genuine decarbonization. That means they don't want to do decarbonization for real. They just prefer having net zero or carbon neutral tax on their offerings. That's the meaning here, right? Where? Oh, we have a creative agency here, right? Yeah. So that's why in question number 20 you see they say involves hiring an expert agency. So that's why I asked, why do they need expert agency? For what? For what, guys? Because when I asked number 20, involves hiring an expert agency, right? So they try to trick us here. But hiring an expert agency is there in paragraph 1. I thought it was not there, but here, you see? Why easier to hire a creative agency? So why do they need to hire an expert agency here? For what? Yeah, to blast the products with labels such as carbon neutral or net zero, calming critics, investors, and even eco-conscious children why emissions continue unsolved. Yeah, so that's why they need to hire an expert agency. for those particular types of job. Yeah. Now tell me, to the where you can see something like large emission enterprises prefer this over this. Where? That's the answer? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, plans to disguise business as usual pollution. Yes, and also look at that picture. A chief executive whose company emits millions of tons of CO2. Okay, so that is large emission enterprises. And now, why do we know they prefer net zero or carbon neutral tax on the offerings? Which one? Which sentence? Yes, far easier is to hire a creative agency to blast the products with labels such as carbon neutral or net zero, coming critics, investors, and something else. Yeah? Yeah. So they far easier is to do this. That means they prefer this over genuine decarbonization. Okay? Yes. So the answer is B. Did anyone choose A? Có bạn nào chọn A không? Ủa cái phần này là cái phần các bạn sai nhiều nhất mà không đứa nào sai câu nào hết. Vậy sao các bạn sai nhiều nhất được guys? Yeah, I know. So who chose A? You. Read that. Yes. The exponential growth of greenwashing is attributable to the environmental benefits the strategy brings to major emitters. How do you understand this? How do you understand this? Because you chose this, that means that it must mean something, right? Why? Explain this. What does that mean? Go on. Yeah. So why do you think it's correct? Why? Why do you think that this one is correct? Yeah, when you explain that, it's quite correct. I mean, you understand the meaning of the sentence? Yes? So why do you think this is correct? Because, like I said, you have to try to match each part of the sentence with the passage, right? So which one? Which one mean the exponential growth greenwashing is attributed to blah blah? Which one?
Because the company choose to use the strategy that they use the greenwashing. It's easier, so when they use it, the greenwashing will grow very sharply.
Oh, so you understand, like, because the companies like using it, So that's why that causes the exponential growth of brainwashing. Yes, you're not wrong. Yes, you're not wrong, right? Yeah, they love using that. So that's why there's an exponential growth of brainwashing, because many companies are using that right now, right? So there's an exponential growth of brainwashing. So it makes sense. So why it's wrong? Yeah, the environmental benefits is wrong. Why?
The brainwashing not bring any benefits for the environment.
Yes, very good. Yes, because greenwashing is just kind of a trick, you know. It doesn't bring any benefits for the environment.
Yes.
But here they say that it is attributable to the environmental benefits. The strategy brings you major emitters, right? Actually, greenwashing doesn't bring anything, any environmental benefits. No, it doesn't bring anything. It tries to trick people or consumers. That's it. That's all it does. Okay? It doesn't bring any environmental benefits at all to anyone or any company. So that's why A is wrong. Got it? Did anyone choose C? Có bạn nào chọn C không? Không bạn nào chọn C luôn hả? Ba bạn dưới chọn gì ạ? What? Chọn đúng luôn. Hai bạn kia cũng B luôn. What did you choose? Chọn A. Chọn A mà nãy giờ im lặng luôn. Để cho bạn khác phát biểu. Các bạn sao vậy ta? Các bạn sợ nói là những câu mình sai cái mình thể hiện được gì? Wrong way of learning, guys, or studying. Wrong way. Các bạn nghĩ là các bạn có thể làm cái bài test này mà không sai hay sao? Nói cho các bạn biết từ giờ trở đi, nếu như ở nước mình mà cứ làm cái test này, đây là một đề test rất hay. Và trên lý thuyết và trên thực tế là cần phải tiến hành những cái dạng test như vậy. Thầy đảm bảo chắc chắn với các bạn là những dạng test như vậy khi mà được tung ra thì những học sinh trung bình và yếu không bao giờ có cửa trên 5 điểm. Cho dù bạn muốn làm cái chuyện gì chăng nữa, bạn cũng không bao giờ lấy được 5 điểm. You understand? Bạn cần phải có năng lực tiếng Anh thực sự, bạn phải hiểu được bài, bạn đọc phải hiểu được cái context, bạn hiểu được câu hỏi rất lắt léo và câu trả lời cũng rất lắt léo ở trong đây. Thì bạn mới mong lấy được 9, 10. Nhưng mà đó là những cho những học sinh giỏi xuất sắc rồi. Ok? Còn nếu mà level bạn chừng nào bạn đậu được PET thì bạn có khả năng đâu đó là bạn được 5, 6 điểm. Bạn trên được level PET, tức là trên level B1, bạn ở B2 cho đến C1 thì các bạn sẽ được đâu đó khoảng 7-8 điểm gì đó. Ok? Cái đó là một hợp lý ha, cho một đề trung học phổ thông quốc gia. Không có vấn đề gì hết. Tại vì đây cũng có hai bạn IELTS 7.5 mà reading người ta 8.85 thì là thi người ta cũng được 8.5 điểm. Thì nghĩ nếu mà mấy bạn đó luyện nhiều hơn thì cái format này có thể là mấy bạn đó luyện quá ít đi, chứ nếu mà luyện nhiều cái format hơn thì có thể điểm mấy bạn đó sẽ cao hơn nhé. Nhưng mà chắc chắn là với những dạng đề thi này thì không có cửa nào cho bạn học tủ hay gì đâu. Alright. Và nếu mà level bạn mà lên đến tận cấp 3 vẫn chưa qua được PET hoặc chưa lên được B2 thì bạn đừng mơ mà lấy trên 7 cái này. Còn trong lớp mình cũng có một số bạn trên 7 thì một số bạn là ok, còn một số bạn thầy không hiểu tại sao thôi. Alright. Đề này nó không dễ tới cái mức để cho các bạn lơ tơ mơ mà có thể lấy điểm cao đâu. Đừng hiểu lầm nha. Mất công là kêu nhiều người gào lên kêu khó, dĩ nhiên là nó phải khó rồi, đề thi phải khó. Và những học sinh trung bình hoặc là khá cũng không nên ý kiến quá nhiều tại sao tôi không lấy được điểm cao, đó là điều dĩ nhiên. Bạn học sinh trung bình khá thì điểm của bạn chỉ đâu đó 5-6 thôi, đó là bình thường. Điểm 9-10 sẽ không dành cho bạn nếu bạn không phải là giỏi xuất sắc. Rồi, cách học cũng rất quan trọng nha. Làm sao có thể có cái chuyện mà bạn đi học mà bạn không sai được. Cái điểm đi thi có 4, 5, 5, 6, lẽ ra các bạn phải sai be bét đi chứ. Các bạn phải hỏi tùm lum la chứ, đằng này hỏi tới câu nào sai, không sai một cái gì. Làm sao có chuyện bạn làm 4, 5 điểm mà bạn không sai cái gì. Bạn phải sai tùm lum luôn, câu nào bạn cũng sai hết, gần như sai toàn bộ. Đúng một số thôi. Còn nói cho bạn biết là những bạn mà trình độ dưới két, hiện giờ được dưới két, thầy có test thử một số bạn chơi thôi. Trình độ mà chưa đậu két là chắc chắn dưới 3 nha. Ok, một số lớp có những bạn cũng học sinh cấp 2 chưa đậu két, làm bài chắc chắn dưới 3 điểm. Ok, chắc chắn dưới 3 điểm. Và đó là những cái điểm mà bạn đánh giống như đánh rùa cũng được. Right? ABCD, but you have 25%. Yeah, of getting the correct answer. So, đó, bạn có 25% cơ hội thì bạn sẽ đâu đó khoảng 2,5 điểm, 25 nhé. Bạn đậu két thì điểm bạn đâu đó từ 4 đến 5. PET thì bạn có thể cao hơn. Đề này đề khá khó ha. Để lấy 9-10 thì bạn phải học và ôn luyện rất dữ. Không phải chuyện lơ tơ mơ mà bạn có thể được đâu. Cho nên bạn hỏi nhiều lên. Một cái bài khó như vậy mà chẳng hỏi gì, và một bài khó như vậy mà để thầy hỏi rất nhiều lần bạn sai câu nào mà bạn không sai thôi thầy cũng thua luôn. Một cái bài đọc lằng nhằng rắc rối như vậy mà không sai được thì thôi, quá bá đạo. Rồi C, who got it wrong? Không ai chọn C hả? Really? Nobody? Chief Executive's opinions are divided on whether or not genuine decarbonization should be consistently implemented. Do you understand this? Đâu Thiên Nga, explain this.
Some chief executive opinion on whether they should do the genuine decarbonization in a consistent way or not.
Yeah. So which of the following best summarizes paragraph 1? Chief executive's opinions. I mean the ideas or opinions of chief executives. I mean the highest ranking people in a particular company. Like I said, CEO, CFO, and all, or those guys, okay, managers, are divided on whether or not. That means that they're still arguing about whether they should do that or not. Whether they should focus on genuine decarbonization, or whether they should implement that consistently or not. Do you understand consistently? Yeah, okay, a lot of time, frequently, something like that. And together. Okay, so they still argue. They still argue whether they should implement genuine decarbonization. So why this one is wrong? Yes. Yeah, kind of. Yes. Here you see, for chief executive, they just mentioned one sentence here. Picture a chief executive whose company emits millions of tons of CO2. Genuine decarbonization will require all of the things there. But they don't mention anything like these chief executives are giving any opinions about genuine decarbonization, or they should implement genuine decarbonization at all. Right? They don't mention about that. They just say that these companies, they refer to hire a creative agency to bless the products. So that is the solution they have right now. They are not saying whether they should implement genuine decarbonization or not. Okay? They don't even care about genuine decarbonization. So just forget about consistently. Okay? So that's why it's wrong. Now, D. Who chose D? You. Okay, you can read that. Yeah, the great pressure to soothe environmental claims urges high-emitting corporations to adopt greenwashing wisely. Explain this. Yeah. So someone else, please. Yeah, someone else.
I think the present is a threat. They have a threat on make make the idea of the environmental, make it calm down, and that is they persuade the high emitting company to adopt this problem wisely.
Not kind of persuading. There's no persuading here. Yeah, the great pressure from what? What? The great pressure from the environmental claims? No. From the public, yes. The great pressure from the public, of course. If no one care about that, then they also don't care. Okay? Why should they care? That doesn't help them to earn money, to solve the issue, right? So of course companies don't care. But under the high pressure from the public, now they care. So the great pressure to soothe environmental claims, what does that mean? What does that mean? You cannot calm environmental claims, but you calm the public. Okay? So the great pressure to soothe environmental claims, that means that under the high pressure from the public about the environmental claims, so these companies try to calm them about these issues. So how they can do that? So urges, when urges, that means that push them, okay? Push whom? Push high emitting corporations. That means the companies who emit a lot of carbon dioxide into the environment. To do what? To adopt greenwashing wisely. To adopt greenwashing wisely, what does that mean? Thư.
Companies that pollute a lot use greenwashing cleverly.
Yeah, adopt means bạn làm bài được 7 điểm 7 điểm rưỡi thì bạn phải thể hiện được cái năng lực 7 điểm rưỡi của bạn nha. Chẳng lẽ bạn toàn đoán mò hết. Những bạn làm được điểm cao các bạn phải thể hiện được đúng năng lực chứ. Các bạn điểm cao bằng cách nào khi mà bạn không thể giải thích hay không thể trả lời? Bạn đoán mò đánh rùa hết mà được điểm cao hả? Really? Chỉ cho thầy phương pháp đánh rùa để khỏi còn phải đi học cho mệt. To adopt greenwashing wisely, that means you use greenwashing and you implement greenwashing in the best way possible. So the great pressure, so that means under high pressure, these companies have to use or to implement greenwashing because they think, oh, greenwashing is a very good strategy, so they have to implement that. That means you have to use that in the best way. And then if they do that, they can calm the public. Okay? Related to the environmental claims. So why this one is wrong? So now we check the great pressure. Is that correct? Do they have great pressure? Yes or no? Yes, they have great pressure. So that's correct. To suit environmental claims, correct? Where?
The strategic use of comforting environmental claims.
That is the strategy used for comforting environmental claims. That's just the explanation of greenwashing. It doesn't mean to soothe environmental claims. Yes. Calming critics, investors, and even eco-conscious children. That means to soothe environmental claims. So you see, the first part is correct. The second one is also correct, right? Urges high-emitting corporations to adopt greenwashing. That means to use or to implement greenwashing. Do they use greenwashing? Yes, they use greenwashing, right? They hire a creative agency to plaster products with labels such as carbon neutral or net zero, something like that. So yes, they did. So why is this still wrong? We have this, we have the great pressure to soothe environmental claims, yes. Urges high emitting corporations, yes. And to use or to apply greenwashing, yes. Why is wrong?
It's not on the best way.
Yes, it's wrong because wisely. To adopt greenwashing wisely, I mean you use that in a smart way. I mean that in the end, you must bring the benefit to the environment. Yes, for real. I mean, under the high pressure from the public, and you want to calm them, you need to use this strategy, this method called greenwashing, and you have to use that in a smart way, and to make sure that okay, you can bring the good thing to the environment, and you need to do that for real. But unfortunately, greenwashing is just a trick. It's unreal. It doesn't solve anything at all. So greenwashing comes with a kind of the bad effect, okay, the negative thing. But here when they say to adopt greenwashing wisely, they're mentioning like something positive. So it's totally opposite. You understand? That's why it looks like it makes sense, but it's still wrong. Yeah. Why? Because greenwashing is what? Just a strategic use of comforting environmental claims to disguise business as usual pollution. I hope you understand that one completely. The strategic use of comforting environmental claims to disguise business as usual pollution. What does that mean? So, someone please explain this to me. Greenwashing, the strategic use of comforting environmental claims to disguise business as usual pollution. What does that mean? Các bạn đọc những câu lằng nhằng vậy bạn không thấy nhức đầu hả? Bạn không có search hả? Bạn phải search chứ. So what does that mean? Ý câu này là gì? Huy coi. Go. Yes. You explain that in English first. If it's not possible, you will translate that later. Trời ơi, nãy giờ gần hết giờ luôn mà. I told you it's hard. Of course, it will be easier if we translate everything from English to Vietnamese, and all of the questions and everything from English to Vietnamese. And if you do so, you will never get a high points for this anymore. You know, that's why we don't do that. Chúng ta thầy có thể hoàn toàn dịch hết cho bạn từ A đến Z, ok? Dịch hết từ tiếng Anh qua tiếng Việt. Vậy thì còn học gì nữa? Dịch xong hết trơn, hiểu hết, giống như đọc tiếng Việt hiểu hết trơn, còn học gì nữa? Nhưng mà nó chẳng giúp ích gì cho cái điểm thi của bạn trong bài test tới. You understand? That's why I didn't do that. Cái này nó đòi hỏi các bạn phải giỏi tiếng Anh thiệt á, bạn phải rất giỏi luôn á. Không phải đùa đâu, thì bạn mới lấy được điểm cao nha. Đâu, Huy ngồi, dịch ngồi, được không?
Commonly use something to comfort the environment.
And yeah, just try, do your best.
So, do something comfort the environment, less emissions, but it's not just
Hương, can you do that? Yeah. Okay, someone else tự.
I think greenwashing is the ways they make the image like they cover in this case they cover the usual pollution of their company. Make their name of company more close to the environment. Closer to the environment.
Yeah, kind of. I need clear explanation. Nhi, try it. They hide what? Mấy chữ cuối nghe không được. Đợi gì? Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Yeah, tự and you can explain it. Yeah. That means you kind of understand it. Here, guys, we are living through a boom in greenwashing. You understand a boom? Yeah? In greenwashing, the strategy used, so this is just a use. Okay? And strategy, I mean, it's a good one. You come with good tactics. The strategy use of comforting environmental claims. That means you say something about environment. Claims here, that means like some statements in this case. That means you just state it. That means you say it. You tell the public something about the environment. And here, what kind of things? That is comforting. That means you say that, hey, our products is really good for the environment. It kind of, eco-friendly products. Why you do that? Why do you keep doing that? Because you want to disguise. I mean, you want to cover. You want to hide the truth about what? You hide the truth that business as usual pollutions. That means that these companies actually they still emit a lot of carbon dioxide or pollution into the air, into the environment. As usual. When I say as usual, that means it happens frequently. All the time. So in short, greenwashing is just the strategic use. I mean, you just use some statement mentioning about saying that your product is really good for the environment. It doesn't harm the environment. It's eco-friendly. And also, why you have to do that? Because you want to cover or you hide the truth or the fact that your company still produce or emit a lot of carbon dioxide into the environment. So that is the meaning of greenwashing. Okay? So that's kind of a negative thing. And here, so that's why the D, the great pressure to soothe environmental claims, urges high-emitting corporations to adopt greenwashing wisely. When you say to adopt greenwashing wisely, that means you're talking about some positive things here about greenwashing. But it's not. So that's why it's wrong. Okay? Mấy câu này nó trick dữ lắm ha. Các bạn mà thoát được là yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have enough time for the next questions, right? Yeah. What? 2 phút đủ cho câu 22 hả? I don't think so. Một hồi mà bới lên mấy câu này lên lại tùm lum tà la. Các bạn đó mình mới giật 2 câu, các bạn nên chịu khó về search thêm đi nha. Cái bài nó nó khó đó. Các bạn không sách kỹ thì sẽ rất khó hiểu luôn á. Yeah. Yeah. Rất nhiều kỹ lên rồi rồi học hết từ vựng. Bữa thấy okay guys.